We start each day at Birmingham Fastener with the same core values in mind: integrity, grit, and accountability. We're looking for talented people to join our sales and manufacturing teams. As one of the nation's leading manufacturers, we have over 10 locations across the country and endless opportunities to grow and succeed alongside incredible teammates. Become the future of American manufacturing and help build our nation's infrastructure one bolt at a time here at Birmingham Fastener.
Welcome into the pregame show with head coach Robert Evans. The Rebels off last week, so got a little rest. We'll get into that in a moment. But we're talking a little bit about the 26-8 win over Spain Park, a huge game. A lot of us were looking at it. I know Coach was before the year as a possible big game. It was. And the Rebels just dominated. Robert, I remember looking up, and it was, I think they had 70-something yards getting close to the half, and half of that was on a fake punt. So you guys played unbelievably well defensively.
We played well, and the disappointing thing was I thought we played undisciplined at times as a team and had probably too many dumb penalties. But if you just look at the stat sheet, I think we tripled them up in yards and controlled for the most part the flow of the game and just squandered a lot of opportunities. I thought between the fumbles, the 3 fumbles, or really 4 fumbles in the game, and the penalties that killed drives. And so really when you triple someone up in yards, you really should win kind of going away. And I mean, we won by 18, and if you had said that before the game, certainly would have taken it, but would have liked to have seen a cleaner, more disciplined performance. But it was one of those games where I had a feeling going in it was going to be chippy and that it was going to be kind of like pulling teeth, and that's the way it turned out. And thankfully we were good enough to get the win, but certainly the lack of discipline has been addressed in the off week, and just getting out of our own way at times, especially the fumbles on the one and just the fumbles in general, is just unacceptable. So worked hard on ball security and hopefully can play a little bit cleaner this week at Chelsea, but was proud of the guys kind of gutting through that after 2 emotional games, and we're sitting in a good spot, and hopefully we could take advantage of where we're currently at.
I was going to say you played Thompson, Hoover, Spain Park in a row. That is 3 top emotional rivalry. Of course, most of ours are, but that's
right.
Really tough gauntlet there.
Yeah, it is, and we knew that going in, and I thought guys, were ready to play the game and probably a little bit too ready. Possibly could have played into just making some uncharacteristic mistakes and stooping to the level of unsportsmanlike conducts and the personal fouls and things of that nature. But those are the things that kill you in the games that matter in November, and there's no reason for us to play like that. And I was, frankly, a little embarrassed by our actions at times. I told the guys, very honest with them, you got to play with toughness, but it can't lead to unforced errors. And it was a good lesson to learn in a win. So I hope the guys took a note of that, and I think they did. And hopefully our message has gotten across these last 2 weeks, and we can play a cleaner, less penalized game this Friday.
Yeah, it should be a good one. But let's talk about the off week. How did you emerge from that game health-wise?
Yeah.
Where do you see yourself now?
Well, we had a lot of guys that had to take care of some injuries in the off week and kind of getting fresh. We had 1 or 2 of our starters who had to have minor operations in the off week, but we'll get them back and we'll have them back for Chelsea. And so it was just, and some guys just are banged up and your body just needs time to heal. Mm-hmm. So we practiced very short practice, 45 minutes to an hour on Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday morning, and then 2 of those mornings we brought in our yoga instructor and just did some yoga at the end of practice for 25 or 30 minutes. The guys really enjoy that, and it really recenters their body and feeling good. And then we've stressed the recovery and just getting away from it, and had a long weekend, and we had one of our better practices yesterday coming off a 3-day weekend with no football, and that was a pleasant surprise because typically after a long weekend it kind of takes a while to get back in, but we had great energy and had another good practice today, so we're putting together a good week, and I would expect that. I think watching people play on Friday, you kind of miss a sense like you're missing out on something. Even though we needed the break, the guys, we had several guys probably go to the Hoover Mountain Brook game and go to surrounding games, and a lot of guys like myself, I was at the beach, but I was watching the Hoover Mountain Brook game on the NFHS network and just really kind of, hey, we're kind of missing out, even though it's an off week and we need the off week. But that we do all this stuff to get to the games, and it makes you appreciate. I'm looking forward to playing this Friday.
Absolutely. So what did you said you went to the beach? Do you feel refreshed?
I mean, everybody recharges differently. I mean, some people just stayed at home with their families. Probably most people did. Some people went to the Alabama game and possibly to the Auburn games. And some of our kids went on visits, which is great. They get an opportunity to have a longer weekend looking at different colleges. But I really enjoyed it. I have not had a fall Saturday at the beach in I don't know how long, maybe ever. So it was a different experience, and so I was down there all day Friday, all day Saturday, and come back Sunday morning. But it was great. Went out on the beach in the mornings and just kind of, there's nobody there. There wasn't anybody out in Fort Morgan, and just kind of sat there and watched a couple sunsets, and then would go in and watch some college football and ate some seafood. So it's like all of some of my favorite things together in one time, and made for a great weekend. And so thankful that my parents have a place that we could get away to. And but yes, you need a recharge, and the off week came at a good time, and I think we're primed and ready to give it a go the second half of the season.
Like a regular old guy. Let's take a break. We'll come back. We'll talk about Chelsea, who's coming up in just a few minutes. So stay with us. You're watching Robert Evans on the Pregame Coaches Show.
Get ready for the annual Sammy Dunn Memorial Golf Tournament and Ladies Luncheon benefiting UAB Comprehensive Cancer Center and Vestavia Hills Baseball. Thursday, October 26th at Greystone Country Club Legacy Course. For more information, follow One Rebel Baseball on social media.
Rebel Athletics would like to thank Ross Neely, Yearly and More, Kathy Smith Remax, Alexander Shonora, Alabama Pain Physicians, Streamline Scientific, Molecular Designs, Arc Realty, and LeMaster Medical for their contributions. Welcome back to Robert Evans and the Pregame Coaches Show. Chelsea staring us in the face. They're 2-4. I don't want to sit here and put words in anybody's mouth that there's a trap game or anything. I think they're improved from last year, but it's a good game to come back from a break from.
Yeah, I mean, certainly. I mean, Coach Cassidy is like me and like Coach Fakakis at Spain Park. They're in the second year. That's a tough job because of it being in Shelby County schools. And just I mean, it's pretty obvious if you're a city school system, you have an advantage over the county schools just because the county school system tries to make everyone equal and on par, and when you're on your own system, you really have a kind of a very narrow focus for your school, trying to make it as good as possible. But he's been very successful wherever he's been. They've doubled their win total already from last year. I know they were 1-9 last year, and I think they're probably a little bit better than they were. And then they have probably, I would consider, one of the top 10 players in our region in Emerson Russell. And, his father, Jerome Russell, was a good player at Sanford. I know you know Jerome. I played with him for a year or two and was just an outstanding player. And his son is a spitting image, and he runs around on pretty much everybody. And he hurt us last year. He's been a good player in this region for 3 years, and we'll have our hands full with him. But, our focus has been more on ourselves and trying to create more explosive plays offensively. And I think we'll do that the second half of the year. There'll be some opportunities for plays down the field, and would really we got a bunch of guys on our roster who play varsity but don't play JV, who need to play. And we need to get this game in the second half out of hand to where these guys can play, and they need to compete because their number may be called at some point in the second half. And we don't take for granted that we're going to win. We have a good plan, hopefully have a good plan going in, and are focused exclusively on Chelsea because if there's one thing in athletics, as soon as you drop your guard, something bad happens. And so you never know going on the road. We've had some tough games with them, whether it's been at Mountain Brook or whether we've been at Vestavia, like in the JV realm, where they're a proud program and they're not going to just let you come in and punk them at home. And so we have to have a good plan and execute. And I think we'll be fresh. And I want us to play fast and just cut it loose. And we'll have if we can win this game, we'll have a chance to compete for a home playoff game next week as either the 1 or 2 seed, depending on what happens with Hewitt and Thompson. So, our guys know that, we know that, but the task at hand is in Chelsea this Friday, and that's where the focus is.
And I was going to bring that up. How do you keep from everybody looking ahead to that?
Well, we acknowledge it. I acknowledge it. I think it's.
Because they're thinking it anyway, right?
It's coach speak to say we take it one game at a time. There's certainly an element of truth to that. But we always have talked about, even before we played Thompson, right? What does it mean for the region? After we lost to Thompson, what needs to happen for us to be in good playoff position? Well, for the very least, we got to win one of the next two. And if we win two of the next two, Hoover and Spain Park, which we did, we'd be in prime position to host a playoff game. And that's kind of been my stated goal from the beginning of the year. Mm-hmm. And we'll have a chance to play for that next week at home against a really talented, trustful team who's having to play Thompson this week. And so thankfully for us, there's some similarities between what Chelsea and Trustful do a little bit offensively. And so you try to find the common ground where some of the things we're getting ready for Chelsea this week will carry over into next week. And so that's one of the things that the people that say you only work on the next week, that's a fallacy. You're always working ahead. We're working ahead for another playoff game against Thompson. I mean, you're always looking for stuff down the road that can help you. And, you look at our schedule, Chelsea is probably, they beat Oak Mountain, who's struggling a little bit this year, and they play Tuscaloosa County Titan, who's playing everyone with the exception of Trustful close. So, but we have to clean our own selves up this week and be ready to go. And I think we will, and I think we'll play well, and I think we'll be fresh. And we came off the off week flying out the gates last year against Chelsea, and I hope it's the same case this year.
And finally, it's not presumption. I want people to be clear about that. It's preparation.
Yeah.
What you're talking about, right?
Yeah. No question. I mean, it's just the preparation of what do we need to do that we're going to see multiple times. And I think you hear Coach Saban talk about it a lot on their off week. They're always working concepts that translate to more than one opponent. So there's concepts that Chelsea does that Trustful will also do, that Helena will also do. Mm-hmm. Helena will come in here week 10 as a 9-0, ranked number 3 or 4 in 6A opponent. They will. I mean, you look at their schedule; they're going to win the rest of their games, and so you're looking for things for teams that you match up with where there's some carryover week to week, and you try to hit those things. Our practices are shorter this time of year because it is so important to me that we're fresh and focused. And I've been a part of teams where at the end of the season you are tired and just ready for the season to be over. And I've been part of the teams, thankfully, the last 5 years where you're super disappointed when the season's over because you want it to keep going. And I think right now finding that balance and backing off a little bit in regards to the amount of time we spend on the field. The reason we're able to do what we do is we practice from February 11 on 11, and so we have a good base understanding. We have a lot of schematics in on both sides, and we're able to kind of pick and choose and fine-tune each week. And that's what we're doing this week. That's what we'll do next week, and just cut it loose and see what happens.
There you go. So, Chelsea, the Hornets coming up here in just a few minutes as we get back on track after an off week. The Rebels 4-1. Stay with us. You're watching the Rebel Nation Sports Network.
We start each day at Birmingham Fastener with the same core values in mind: integrity, grit, and accountability. We're looking for talented people to join our sales and manufacturing teams. As one of the nation's leading manufacturers, we have over 10 locations across the country and endless opportunities to grow and succeed alongside incredible teammates. Become the future of American manufacturing and help build our nation's infrastructure one bolt at a time here at Birmingham Fastener.
When the on-time service technician arrives in your home, you give us an amazing opportunity. The opportunity to earn your trust, to arrive at your home on time, to fix the problem in your home, and to never sell you something you don't need. When the job is done and the technician leaves, I want you to be really pleased with the work. And I want something more. I want you to say to yourself, I trust that guy.
John Ballhead, senior quarterback.
William Tonsmeyer, junior running back.
Caden Taylor, senior running back.
Jane Daniels, senior receiver.
Cooper Mollison, senior receiver.
J.D. Livingston, junior O-line. Landon Page, junior O-line.
Phil Hewen, senior O-line.
Ford Brown, senior offensive line.
Caleb Boylan, sophomore O-line.
Bruce Littleton, junior tight end.
Jordan Ross, senior edge.
Chuck Hammock, senior defensive lineman.
Ethan Denneberg,
senior, defensive end. Harrison Faust, senior, nose guard.
Jacob Watson, junior, linebacker.
Grayson Bruno, junior, linebacker.
Gibson Bean, senior, linebacker. Boucher, senior, safety.
Spence Hanna, junior, safety.
Jack Mayhall, senior, corner.
Cohen Nelson, senior, cornerback.
Cross Tonsmeyer, sophomore, safety.
All right, and there is a look at the Rebels here in Helena. Excuse me, I should say Chelsea. It kind of looks like Helena there with the light blue. We play Helena later on at home, and they're undefeated, by the way, top 10, and doing quite well, aren't they?
Having a great season so far, 6-0, and have been done really well. I like this stadium. It's really well done. Not big, but really nicely put together, nice turf, nice stands. Unfortunately, not enough room in the press box, so we're on the visitor side tonight in the stands and get to be in amongst the fans, which has been a fun, unique experience thus far, and we're looking forward to a good football game. I think for Vestavia, the key is to really come out hot, come out and get things going. Last week, they started the game with an 80-yard drive, put points on the board, but they sputtered. They had a few mistakes here and there, had some turnovers that really cost the Rebels throughout that football game. And so now, having that week off, I think that was good because that was a really tough 5-game stretch to start the season. Now you get a chance to take a deep breath, should be well rested, ready to go. Keon Richardson is back tonight for the Rebels at the wide receiver spot. He was a captain along with several others to get this game going, so it should be a fun one here out in Chelsea.
No doubt about it. The Rebels will be wearing red helmets with the white jerseys and red pants. Chelsea will be in all blue, monochromatic tonight, with the blue helmets, blue jerseys, and the blue pants here. Again, the Hornets 2-4, the Rebels 4-1. Big game to keep an eye on in Trussville is the Huskies, Husky Fast, hosting Thompson, who had a loss last week to Clay Chalkville. How did you view that game? Was that surprising to you? We all know Clay Chalkville is pretty good, though.
Clay Chalkville is full of outstanding athletes, and they're just some really good players. I actually got to watch the fourth quarter of that football game. It was very entertaining. Thompson was up. Clay Chalkville drove down, scored to tie it up or to take the lead. And then Thompson came back down, had a field goal to try and tie it, but that was unsuccessful. So it was a really fun, entertaining game live on ESPN2. And I think what happened is Thompson didn't play their best game. But Clay Chalkville has some really good athletes, and they were probably the closest that anybody's come all season long to matching them athlete for athlete. So that was fun to watch. It's going to be interesting to see what Hewitt-Trussville does tonight and how that how does the Hewitt-Trussville offensive line hold up against that Thompson defensive front. But nonetheless, for Vestavia, we'll see how they come as well. Last week, Chelsea had 7 starters out of the game, and their star running back Emerson Russell was about 70%. We're going to be interested to see, does he play? And then just how many bodies does Chelsea have available? They have, again, this is their 7th game in a row, and it really gotten beaten up in the early going of the season.
We'll see how they fare tonight. Vestavia will get the opening kickoff. Chase Webb and Mr. Mann back deep, and that will bound into the end zone for a touchback. And here come the Rebels out. And they'll start, of course, with John Paul Head at quarterback. And that offensive line has been playing so much better as the year goes.
Yeah, it's been a great group. It's just been really effective, not big, but they get on bodies, do a good job. And we've already got a little stoppage here with the ref as they try to get the chain set. The chain crew was not quite ready to go for this one. Now they are, and off we go.
Tonsmeyer, the lone back. They'll fake it. Head will drop back to throw on the first play. Richardson, he's there. He's got it, and he's tossed down at the 28-yard line. So that is what? 52 yards, according to my calculations.
Great throw by John Paul Head. I love that play call. Keon Richardson out last week, and now go right to him, and here goes Tonsmeyer to the outside. Oh, man.
The Green Home Solutions replay there. Here's Vestavia going in a hurry First down and 10 after they pick up another first down. Head up the middle, running, spinning, and he's down to the 4-yard line before he was drugged down by Owen Kay, the linebacker.
And very quickly, Vestavia back up to the line.
Inside Head, touchdown.
That took 53 seconds.
So Vestavia on top, 6-0, and they're on the board. And you see that was Josh Franklin talking to John Paul Head. And here comes the 2-point conversion. Littleton inside, and he's got 2. So 8-0 Vestavia here against Chelsea. We'll take a 1-minute break. You're watching the Rebel Nation Sports Network.
Are you sure about the air you breathe at home? You can be with Green Home Solutions. They provide indoor air testing, treatments, and analysis that doesn't just find the problem, but resolves the problem. Disinfection, mold remediation, and odor removal creates clean indoor air so your family breathes easier. Call Green Home Solutions at 205-968-1425. That's 205-968-1425.
You have to pay taxes. Ugh. It's just part of life. In the great state of Alabama, we have an awesome thing in our tax code called the Alabama Accountability Act, which allows you to redirect up to 100% of your state taxes to Scholarship for Kids, a scholarship granting organization that benefits partner schools like Restoration Academy. It's a no-brainer. Use your tax money for something that will make a huge impact at no cost to you. For more information, go to choosera.org.
We're back here at Chelsea. There's Owen Simpson with the kickoff. And it is a touchback for the Rebels.
This Chelsea offense is led by quarterback Carter Dotson last week in a loss to Pelham. He was 16 of 25 for 113 yards, 1 touchdown, and 1 interception.
And here come the Rebels defense, led by Jordan Ross, Jacob Watson, and others.
That first carry is by Chase Straightner. Last week, he had 20 carries for 40 yards.
He's their top back. They'll play Briston Hardy as well at the tailback position.
And Emerson Russell is really a player for this Chelsea team, but he's been injured, and I did not see him in warm-ups, and he is not out on the field to start this game.
Over the middle, open receiver. Great throw by Carter Dotson, and that was Nick Solinsky with the catch over the middle.
And for Chelsea to be successful tonight, they're going to have to throw some balls down the field, and they're going to have open receivers. And that was a good start there. Did a nice job just running in route, hitting right over the middle. Nice catch and a first down. Looks like we're going to have a false start. They're going to go offsides against Vestavia.
Dead ball encroachment against Vestavia. 5-yard penalty will bring up first. Ready? Here we go. Stand up now. And 1, 3, and 1, 2, 3.
Very slow and deliberate pace for the Hornets, trying to slow down Vestavia a little bit while making sure they get the right play in as well. Handoff inside, immediately stopped right there, crashing in from the end position. I think Ethan, or is that Watson there on that tackle? I don't know if that was Denenberg or Watson.
Looked like Denenberg crashing in from the outside. That was a nice play. But it's a nice positioning for Chelsea on this drive after the offsides penalty against the Rebels. Only a gain of 1.5 or so, but now Chelsea's still looking at a 2nd and 3. And this is one of those drives where Chelsea, with the way that Vestavia just went down the field so easily, they need to move the ball, need to pick up first downs.
Option. They pitch it out. I haven't seen that in a while, and they get it out to Strassner. And they've got a first down. So the Hornets with a couple of first downs here, answering the Rebels touchdown.
And they're doing a good job of mixing it up. They had the pass over the middle, they ran off tackle, and now you go speed option to the outside. So that's the way this Hornets team is going to have to attack this Vestavia defense if they want to be successful. And so far, so good.
First down and 10 for the Hornets. Snap before the quarterback was expecting it. It was picked up, I think, by Hardy, the running back, and he's down, and there's a flag down after all of that. So let's see what this is about.
Yeah, I'm interested to see this call. A lot of confusion on that play. Vestavia thought it was a false start against Chelsea. We're going to get a face mask against Vestavia. So that play, looked like some type of movement. Vestavia was pointing. The ball came out early before Dotson was ready for it. It hit his legs, fell on the ground, was a fumble. And then instead of just falling on the ball, Chelsea picks it up and starts running, and a Vestavia defender reached out and grabbed the face mask. So what could have been a very bad play for the Hornets instead results in a first down on Vestavia's side of the field.
Drop back, Dotson throws over the middle. He's got his man again. He's open again over the middle, and that's Sarinsky. So Dotson and Solinsky have hooked up for a couple of first down throws.
Yeah, Solinsky's done a really good job of getting in between the defense. Vestavia playing zone defense in the secondary. So what do you want to do? You have to find the soft spot of that defense. Go to where the defenders are not. Perfect job of recognizing that from a route perspective by Solinsky, and then a nice throw by Dotson, putting it in the right spot on what's been a very impressive drive by the Hornets to start this ball game. Really notable, though, how slowly
very slow pace,
now all the
right?
way down to 10 on the play clock, and they are in no hurry. They want to eat up as much time as possible.
Handoff inside, and stonewall job there by Vestavia. Gibson Bean is in there. Also, Chuck Hammock leading the way from the defensive line.
And that was a dive play right behind the guard, but it had a read option look. And so the difference is, with a speed option, the quarterback's going to take it, run to the outside, and just have his tailback to pitch to. On the read option, you're actually going to show handoff to the running back, the fullback, which is what occurred there, and then you're going to carry it out to the outside where either the quarterback could keep it or he could pitch it to the tailback. So a read option look there, but not much doing for the Hornets.
Dotson drops, throws in the flat, a little too tall, but there on the coverage was Bean, who's been terrific in pass coverage this year.
Trying to get that ball to Bridgman was a quick out route, and Dotson took about 2 seconds too long to throw that ball. That's a quick, short route, and instead of throwing it short and early in that route, he allowed Bridgman to run much farther than he needed to do so and much farther away from the quarterback. The ball sailed on him and fell incomplete.
Again, very deliberate pace here for the Hornets. Drops, throws left in the flat, makes a move on a missed tackle, but Cohen Nelson finally held up Jackson Shuttlesworth with that catch. And to your point, they're actually moving the football, getting first downs all the way down the field.
Very impressive. That's another first down for Chelsea. That was simply a hitch route. Came up, quick pass, had a good cushion in the secondary. Able to deliver that ball, and another first down for the Hornets.
Again, just taking their time. The clock running. It's less than 6 minutes to go in the first quarter. Vestavia football brought to you by On Time Service. As you see, handoff Strassner inside. Beans there on the tackle. And I should say, yeah, Strassner gets very close to the 5-yard line, and they're knocking on the door at Vestavia.
And this Chelsea offensive line is getting a good push as well. It's a nice job of firing off the line, getting a good push, and really moving the ball up and down. I've been very impressed with what Chelsea's done on this first drive and eating up a lot of clock. We're now at 5:20 left in the first quarter.
Dotson drops the route over the middle. It's a touchdown. Bean was there in coverage, but Raymond Bridgman catches the touchdown, and at the snap of a finger, Chelsea is back in this football game early on, but driving right down the field after Vestavia scored in 3 plays.
But this is huge. Chelsea had not scored in the first half in either of its last 2 games against either Thompson or Pelham, and instead they go right down the field on this first drive and put up 6.
The extra point is up and good by Luke Miller, and we are tied at 8. Vestavia and Chelsea. We'll take a 45-second break. You're watching the Rebel Nation Sports Network.
There are reasons why On Time Service has far more 5-star Google reviews than any other Alabama home service company. Our technicians are true professionals who never smoke, swear, or leave any mess in your home, and they always arrive on time.
We start each day at Birmingham Fastener with the same core values in mind: integrity, grit, and accountability. We're looking for talented people to join our sales and manufacturing teams. As one of the nation's leading manufacturers, we have over 10 locations across the country and endless opportunities to grow and succeed alongside incredible teammates. Become the future of American manufacturing and help build our nation's infrastructure one bolt at a time here at Birmingham Fastener.
The Rebel Nation Sports Network. Scott Griffin, Chad Pilcher, B.J. Milliken, and the Rebels getting back on the field. And Hornets answering so quickly.
And for the Vestavia offense, it's trying to do more of the same. That last drive was incredibly impressive. Started out with a big shot down the field to Keon Richardson. A nice throw. To the outside, and then back-to-back runs by John Paul Hinton.
And we're working on some audio issues here as we go.
So that time Vestavia goes down the field, but incomplete. But they're going to be aggressive, clearly. Going to let it fly. And we've got a penalty against Chelsea. It's tough to see, just so everybody knows. We're on the visitor side this time. Obviously, every time the referee signals something, he's going to signal it to the home side. Typically, we would be on the home side and be able to see that. But it's really tough to see the referee with his signals from behind.
So head there with a full backfield, handy to Tonsmeyer. Up the middle! There goes Tonsmeyer. He is gone. He's going to run to Vestavia. He don't need to take the bus. Vestavia with another touchdown by William Tonsmeyer. How about that?
Incredible job. Incredible job by Tonsmeyer to bust up the middle. Just a great run. Beautiful hole up the middle and then great speed to get into the end zone.
So here comes the 2-point conversion. Littleton throws it out wide open out there. Was Robertson the backup quarterback, but Littleton was getting tackled and just couldn't get it. Tonsmeyer there celebrating with a long touchdown run. We'll take a 45-second break. You're watching the Rebel Nation Sports Network.
Renew and refresh. JH Outback focuses on strengthening family bonds with spouses, parents, and children to help in spiritual growth and life purpose. Join us for a fun-filled weekend together in an undistracted environment, enjoying the outdoors with great food, entertainment, and live music. JH Outback. Renew and refresh. Rebel Athletics would like to thank Ross Neely, Yearly and More, Kathy Smith Remax, Alexander Shannara, Alabama Pain Physicians, Streamline Scientific, Molecular Designs, Arc Realty, and LeMaster Medical for their contributions.
Rebel Nation Sports Network. Scott Griffin and Chad Pilcher. There's the kick by Owen Simpson. Simpson and the Rebels, and there is the Hornets bringing it back out. Not a bad little return to just shy of the 30-yard line, and that's where the Hornets will set up for the second time today.
All right. And now we'll see what this Vestavia defense can do. Chelsea moved it up and down the field very easily on that last drive, and we haven't seen much defense at all in the early going of this ball game. So now an opportunity for this Rebel defense to make a stand. And what Chelsea's doing very effectively, one, they're using the clock. They're taking their time. Two, they're spreading out the field. You see here, they've got 3 receivers to the right side.
Dotson at quarterback. Hands it inside. Boy, good stick there. I think Watson came in with that shoulder. There he is, 42. Really stuffing down Straciner, making sure he only got a couple of yards on that run.
Yeah, Jordan Ross in there as well. Nice job by the Rebel defense. And that's one thing that Chelsea hasn't been able to do. They've continued to run those balls up the middle, but they have not had much success moving the ball in the middle. All their success has either been the passes down the field or getting the running ball to the outside.
Trips to the right, but he'll look left, batted up in the air, and almost, boy, Ross could have grabbed that and run forever. I don't know who got a hand on that. I don't know if it's Ross or somebody else, but maybe Hammock. But they knocked that pass away for the Hornets, so 3rd down and 8.
That was great pursuit by this Rebel defense. Great job of getting in the backfield off the snap, and then as you see the ball come forward, throw your hands up, throw your hands up, throw your hands up, and try to deflect that ball.
3rd down and 8. Rebels, as you see, stand up usually on the defensive line. Here comes pressure, 5 rushing. They get it away, tipped, still in the air, and falls to the turf. So they brought an extra rusher, Chad, and they made the quarterback move his feet.
Yeah. Ross. And then after it was tipped by the Vestavia defense, Solinsky for Chelsea had a chance to get his hands on the football, but he was unable to do so, and it falls incomplete. And so that's the stop that this Vestavia defense was looking for.
So here goes the punting team. Awesome Harbin is the punter. And caught by Charlie Tapp, and he's up to the 43-yard line. And he's done a great job this year, the freshman returner for the Rebels. So Vestavia now up 14-7, and they'll go right back to work on the 43-yard line.
Yeah, good pressure there by the Vestavia special teams. Larry McSwain had a chance to get there, just a little bit off. But great field position for the Rebels. They're going to come out trips to the left as well as having a slot. So 4 receivers to the left, now some motion.
Head goes right back to Mollison, and he's stuck down pretty close. We got about 2 or 3 on that. He had come in motion inside, reversed, went back out, head hit him, but only about a 3-yard gain.
Yeah, that tackle was by Briston Hardy, a freshman.
Handoff at the middle. Tonsmeyer, and he'll move it to the 49. Tonsmeyer last year only had 590 yards total for the year. He's almost to that total after that long run already after 6 games. There's Tonsmeyer again getting very close to the first down. We'll see if they give it to him. He might be a half-yard shy.
I think he's short, but Coach Evans is likely to go for it. They're going to give it to him. Wow.
Wow. Okay. They'll move the chains. Give him the first down. Here's the Rebels ready to go immediately. Before the reps are, as usual. Head drops. Throwing. Deep. Richardson, and there's a flag down, but it's in the middle of the field. I don't know if he threw that for the Richardson route or what.
Yeah, it's going to be pass interference. It was a lot of pulling, a lot of tugging by Kevin Wesley, the cornerback, on Richardson. That's going to be the pass interference call. Going back to that previous play, I thought Tonsmeyer was very close, but we were right on that play. I'm a little surprised they didn't measure it. He may have gotten it, but it was. With it being, it looked to me like he was a little bit short.
It did look short. First down for the Rebels after the penalty. Good look at John Paul Head from the field camera. Head hands off. That's Littleton, right side. He finds a crease on the outside, and he's close to another first down.
It's that play. Absolutely impressive. Lowering the shoulder, getting a nice finish.
Head hands off. Littleton up the middle to the 20. And that should be enough for the first down.
So Vestavia continuing to move the ball, getting good push up front. Nice job of moving the ball up and down the field. Just the Hornet defense has not had an answer so far for these Rebels. They already have 166 yards of total offense here in the first quarter.
Head keeps it himself, left tackle, as he faked it to Mollison, and he is inside the 14-yard line. So that's a gain of about 7. And right back to work again. Handoff. That is Mann on the outside, and he's inside the 5-yard line for Mann. He hasn't had many carries this year. Really, Chad, but he's getting the ball there.
Well, and he took advantage of it. That is the third Vestavia running back to finish a run by running over a Hornet defender. They are bringing it tonight. They're lowering their pads, staying behind them, and finishing runs.
Mann again, he's going to have the touchdown. Carson Mann around right in, and the Rebels score again their third possession and third touchdown. Here's the look at it again.
Started inside, wide open to the outside. Mann recognizes it, bounces out, gets into the end zone. Really, really strong offensive performance in the early going by the Rebels.
Owen Simpson on for the kick. It is up. It is good. Timeout on the field. We'll take a break. You're watching the Rebel Nation Sports Network.
Are you sure about the air you breathe at home? You can be with Green Home Solutions. They provide indoor air testing, treatments, and analysis that doesn't just find the problem, but resolves the problem. Disinfection, mold remediation, and odor removal creates clean indoor air so your family breathes easier. Call Green Home Solutions at 205-968-1425. That's 205-968-1425.
The on-time service technicians are really good, and Alabama homeowners agree. Before you call another home service company, check out our Google reviews. See the real feedback from real homeowners.
Welcome back to Rebel Nation Sports Network. Scott Griffin, BJ Milliken on the field, Chad Pilcher up here. And let's check in with BJ and see what's going on the Rebel sideline. BJ.
Well, it's kind of a happy sideline right now. I'll tell you this, it's a little chilly down here. The wind is starting to pick up just a little bit. I don't know if you're going to feel it up in the stands, but it feels like October right now.
Yes, it does. But nice and breezy, I think. I think it's feeling pretty good, actually, down here.
It feels great, but I forgot to check the weather, so it's pretty cool up here.
Are you cold?
I'm not cold, but it's cool.
Do you need one of my charts here to keep you warm?
I found a jacket in the car.
You did? Okay.
Yeah, we'll be good.
Making sure you're all right.
I appreciate that. Hey, it's fall break, too, so it's the perfect time for it to start to get cool. A lot of kids are out of school today. They're out of school on Monday and Tuesday. I didn't know what kind of crowd we've had, but this is a great crowd here from Vestavia here tonight.
So Dotson has it. He's running the option the other way. He does pitch it. Boy, coming up hard. Gibson Bean on the tackle, introducing himself to the Hornets on that play.
And that's what you want to do if you're going to run option football. As a quarterback, you want to wait until the very last minute before you pitch it. But that was perfectly played. If you're a linebacker and you're playing that, you want to string out the quarterback as long as you can. And when he makes the pitch, you want to be able to force him to pitch and then extend out to the running back. That was played perfectly by Bean.
Yeah, Lanzi with that pitch from Dotson. Dotson's a pretty good-looking player, the quarterback. He drops and looking. He's getting pressured, and he's sacked.
Watch Jordan Ross come underneath with the swim move, and Dotson just no chance. If Jordan Ross is rushing, you don't have long. You've got to go 1, 2, 3, hit your step, and let go of the football. Receivers recovered. He tried to hesitate, and Ross cleaned it up.
Good look at Jordan Ross there, the Tennessee commit. And the end of the first quarter. We'll take a 1-minute break. You're watching the Rebel Nation Sports Network.
When the on-time service technician arrives in your home, you give us an amazing opportunity. The opportunity to earn your trust, to arrive at your home on time, to fix the problem in your home, and to never sell you something you don't need. When the job is done and the technician leaves, I want you to be really pleased with the work. And I want something more. I want you to say to yourself, I trust that guy.
Renew and refresh. JH Outback focuses on strengthening family bonds with spouses, parents, and children to help in spiritual growth and life purpose. Join us for a fun-filled weekend together in an undistracted environment, enjoying the outdoors with great food, entertainment, and live music. JH Outback. Renew and refresh.
Welcome back to Rebel Nation Sports Network, Vestavia and Chelsea. And here come the Hornets. 3rd down and 7. Throws it and knocked away by Ross. He tried to throw it through him, and that's not going to happen. And be very successful very often.
No, it looked like Chelsea was trying to set up some type of screen play. And if you get good pressure, that's usually good for a screen, but Jordan Ross came flying in, and as Dotson tried to get it over his head, he just went up, swatted it down, and that's going to force Chelsea into a punting formation. Keep in mind, Chelsea has already attempted 3 fake punts on the season, so not scared to try it in their own territory.
Timeout. Hornets, as they'll take a timeout on the field there. So we'll keep it here, and you can look at the Rebels special teams return guys on the punt defense. 11:54 to go in the first quarter. Now, Vestavia went down and scored in 3 plays on the opening kickoff, but then Chelsea, with a masterful drive, led by a couple of long passes from Dotson to Solinsky, had a handful of first downs and moved in and scored on Vestavia. Since then, the Rebels have answered with a long Tonsmeyer run and then a nice drive from 50, 60 yards or so to go ahead 21-7.
You know, psychologically, when you go down and score as easy as Vestavia did, sometimes maybe your defense relaxes a little bit. And then when that other team comes right down and scores just as easily, maybe it wakes you up just a tad. And so the Vestavia defense has been excellent since then.
With the fair catch. And once again, the Rebels, not that they need help, will set up shop just shy of Chelsea territory near the 50.
And that's why making the big plays are such a big deal. And a lot of times you'll see a offense pick up a first down or two, and then they punt, and you're not in as good a field position. But a great stop by the defense, a pretty good punt by Chelsea, but still great field position for the Rebels.
John Paul Head fakes to Tonsmeyer, drops, got a man. It is Webb, and he dropped it. Webb had it in his breadbasket, it looked like. I don't know if we have a replay of that, but it was a good throw by Head, but it went right through his hands.
Yep, quick play action, and you go deep. It was a post route by Webb. Ball thrown towards the middle. Good job by Head of taking the receiver to the open space, and Webb just dropped it.
2nd down and 10. Tonsmeyer right guard, and like a mole, he'll burrow his way for about 3 or 4 across the 50 to the 49-yard line.
Anderson Brooks on the tackle. Webb 3 yards. With 7 yards to go from the 49.
It's 3rd down and 7. Head will roll. He's got a man. He threw it a little tall, but I think he made the catch. And that is Richardson with a catch. He's been injured and come back. He's played terrifically so far.
That was a great catch by Keon Richardson. You had two routes. You had a short route, then you had an over-the-top route by Richardson. Ball stone high, but he went up and got it.
19th catch of the year. Head wanted to go downfield, but flips it out to Tonsmeyer for his 4th catch of the year. And Vestavia on the move again, 2nd down and 6. Richardson really went up tall, and he had a broken arm, so he's feeling pretty good. There goes Head around left in. Still on his feet. Heading to pay dirt, it looks like, runs over a man. He's in for the touchdown. How about that? John Paul Head, like a Mack truck.
I think the message this week for Vestavia is you want your ball carries to bring it. John Paul Head gets to the outside. He could have run into the end zone. He went and sought contact right here. And then takes a lick and falls into the end zone. What a great run by John Paul Head.
Yeah. John Paul Head came to play, so 27-7. Now the conventional extra point for the first time tonight. Owen Simpson is on for the kick. Robertson will put it down. Ingram will snap it. It is up. It is good. 28-7. Vestavia in control. We'll take a 45-second break. You're watching the Rebel Nation Sports Network.
You have to pay taxes. Ugh. It's just part of life. In the great state of Alabama, we have an awesome thing in our tax code called the Alabama Accountability Act, which allows you to redirect up to 100% of your state taxes to Scholarship for Kids, a scholarship granting organization that benefits partner schools like Restoration Academy. It's a no-brainer. For more information, go to choosera.org.
And Summers get to receive.
Welcome back to the Rebel Nation Sports Network. Scott Griffin, Chad Pilcher, B.J. Milliken, Vestavia. I think it's 4 for 4, right, Chad?
4 for 4, doing anything they want to offensively, moving the ball up and down the field, and the defense is caught up a little bit, and they've started playing very well. Justin Ross been all over the place.
I was hoping he'd kick it out of the end zone so I could ask you about the Ole Miss weekend. You went back with the Western Division champions for one of my favorite guys, David Cutcliffe, on that team with Eli Manning and yourself. You guys had a great time.
It was really, really neat. Got to see all my teammates from 20 years ago. Doesn't seem like that long ago. We won the Cotton Bowl that year against Oklahoma State. That was then coached by Les Miles. Had just a great season, 7-1 in the SEC, 10-3 overall. Eli played really well, and I got to see a bunch of my buddies. Patrick Willis was there. Had a great NFL career. And just a number of good guys that was really fun to see, and you kind of pick up right where you left off. And glad I went, and it was great to see so many former teammates.
Dotson fakes to Straciner, finally pitches it outside, and look who came up hard, a guy that hasn't played in a while. Caden Daniels comes up hard and sticks him. Check out this replay.
I mean, these hits tonight are incredible. Chelsea going to the outside, a late pitch, and then bam!
He's missed playing football, I think.
That is awesome.
Wow. He came up with a bad attitude on that one. Jaden Daniels injured this week with a torn hamstring on Wednesday. There's his brother with that big club. He didn't even need it. He used his shoulders, and he's back with a bang, literally, from the injured list. Good to have number 6 back. 9:41 to go in the second quarter. Dotson sends a man in motion. Looks like an RPO. Looks like it's busted as he is not down. Harrison Faust with the tackle coming in for the defensive tackle position.
Yeah, a lot of confusion on that play by Chelsea. The Vestavia defense is cranking up the pressure, getting into the backfield, and when you're playing behind the sticks, it's really, really tough. Now looking at a 3rd and 14 for the Hornets. And Chelsea still taking their time, looking to the sideline, trying to figure out what can we do after what was a great first drive. Just nothing doing since then. In fact, on the game now, Chelsea only has 54 yards of total offense.
Johnson drops. Ross trying to jump over everybody. There's the rush. Johnson runs by it, but he's quickly stopped down with Gibson Bean there on that play.
And that was actually a good play call that time. They had a short route to the receiver to the left side, and then they were trying to run the wheel route down the sideline as they sent Bridgman out of the backfield, headed to the outside, but Dotson just didn't have enough time to throw the football, and that was a play that took a while to develop because the routes were a little bit longer, and by the time he would have had a chance to throw, there was pressure in the backfield. He tucks it, he runs, picks up about 6 yards, but now Chelsea will punt it away.
Taft has his heels on the 50, and the Rebels 4 for 4 scoring might be set up in shop again. Taft has it at the 49, and he's dropped down right there. I saw a new Rebel in there at linebacker. Ren Smith was in on that last tackle. Chad, I wanted to get his name out there. I had to check him in there. He's not on my 2 deep, but he's certainly getting some playing time here after the off week.
It's a good opportunity to get a lot of fresh bodies in this ball game. I'll be interested to see, especially if Vestavia goes down and scores again. I would expect the offense to play the entire first half, but after that, you may see a lot of guys get opportunities to play in the second half if this keeps going how it is.
Mollison split right, now in motion. Going up top where the 2 receivers are. Pitch out Tonsmeyer. Makes one man miss, around right in. He'll have 4 or 5 over there as Tonsmeyer is really doing well on the night. And that got very close. Let's see if he's right at 100 yards or not because he had the long run. Meanwhile, whistle stops and stops play.
False
he has
start.
91 yards on 6 carries.
And false start against Vestavia. Didn't quite get set on that play. So that run will essentially be negated. It's now a 2nd down and 9.
Quick snap and to the line for the Rebels. Trips to the right. Head looks right. Pump fake. Going deep. And he's got a little wheel route there from Mollison. I think he came out of the inside slot and wheeled around, but the timing was off a little bit on that.
Yeah, pretty well defended by the Hornets that time. A lot of confusion there in the secondary. Mollison came out, but I think Head was a little bit nervous and just threw that one out of bounds and incomplete.
3rd down and 9 for Vestavia. Head rushed, makes one man miss, running up the middle, and he is short of the first down to the 43-yard line.
So a decision time for Coach Evans. He's going to send the heavy package in with Ingram and Watson, and they're going to go for it on what is a 4th and 3.
Unless they do the shift and try to pull them off sides as well.
Yeah, I think they're going to go for it. I mean, you're on your plus side of the field. It's 4th and 3. You've been able to move the ball pretty effectively, and you like what you can do out of your heavy package. If
whistle
5 in the backfield, that's not legal.
And timeout on the field. We'll take a 45-second break. You're watching the Rebel Nation Sports Network.
Are you sure about the air you breathe at home? You can be with Green Home Solutions. They provide indoor air testing, treatments, and analysis that doesn't just find the problem, but resolves the problem. Disinfection, mold remediation, and odor removal creates clean indoor air so your family breathes easier. Call Green Home Solutions at 205-968-1425. That's 205-968-1425.
In the great state of Alabama, we have an awesome thing in our tax code called the Alabama Accountability Act, which allows you to redirect up to 100% of your state taxes to Scholarship for Kids, a scholarship granting organization that benefits partner schools like Restoration Academy. It's a no-brainer.
Welcome back to the Rebel Nation Sports Network. Fourth down and 3. And whistle
And this coaching staff is not going to be happy about that. They had to call a timeout on the prior play because the Rebels did not line up properly. They call a timeout, they talk it over, and then they get a penalty for an illegal shift. So not well executed offensively by Vestavia on that 4th down attempt.
There's the punt by Simpson. Ball loose, but the Hornets fall on it.
Chelsea very fortunate there. It looks like they have a player down at the end of that play. They'll need some medical attention. Good punt by Simpson. Good coverage by Vestavia. And the ball was fumbled but recovered by Chelsea.
And we're going to take a 1-minute break. You're watching the Rebel Nation Sports Network.
Your future is here at Birmingham Fastener.
Get ready for the annual Sammy Dunn Memorial Golf Tournament and Ladies Luncheon benefiting UAB Comprehensive Cancer Center and Vestavia Hills Baseball. Thursday, October 26th at Greystone Country Club Legacy Course. For more information, follow One Rebel Baseball on social media.
Welcome back to Rebel Nation Sports Network. Good shot of the True Blue Chelsea sideline. We're on the opposite sideline, facing over there as the Vestavia on top, 28-7. They're still working on the injured Hornet on the sidelines. And let's go to B.J. Milliken. B.J., did you see it all? What was happening down there?
I mean, it was a scrum. It was more like a rugby match when the ball got loose down there, but they look like they're working on his leg. I can't really tell from my angle. I think I'm getting blocked by a couple of referees, but looks like they're getting him up right now.
All right. We can't tell the number, Chad. I don't know if you can see it. I certainly couldn't see what was going on. I don't know if it was the return man on the punt or what.
Yeah, it was hard to see, and then there were a lot of Rebel defenders around, and then now he was on the ground. Still hard to see that number's
number 12, I think.
But glad to see him walk off on his own.
So here come the Rebels defensively. Ross, Caden Daniels had a big hit a while ago right there, number 6. Denenberg's out there, Hammock. Watson and the rest of the crew for the Rebels. 6:10 to go in the first half. And that was the first drive that Vestavia did not score, right?
It was.
So Chelsea wants to answer here, down 28-7.
And good to see Caden Daniels back out there. He's got a big club on his hands, and that's not easy to tackle. Glad he's back out.
Dotson hands aside Stracer. He's going nowhere. Watson just got lower than the lowest and just drove him backwards.
That was a wrestling move right there. Just dive play over the middle, right at the point of contact. Get down, get low, drive your legs, and finish the tackle.
Loss of 1 yard, 2nd and 11.
Defense! 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 Rebels! Defense! 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 Defense!
Chelsea continuing to take their time, run the clock. And at this point, if you're Coach Cassidy, you're just trying to get to halftime and keep this lead or this margin as slim as you can.
Dotson throws it out quick, and look who got his hands up. Hammock that time batting the leather down as he was trying to hit on a hot route there outside on a 1-on-1 situation, but could not find Bridgman.
Yeah, the Vestavia defense is doing a good job tonight of getting their hands up when they can't get there. Hold it up, see if you can't rush.
It's the third batted pass.
Yeah,
third and fourth.
And look, if you do that enough, eventually you're going to get one and pick it off. So a really good job. We've seen some good rushes, gotten in the backfield a number of times and disrupted plays. But then when you don't get there, throw that hand up. They've been fortunate to get their hand on that ball.
Boy, that Ross went up in the air, and he somehow completed it over the middle with great coverage with Bean, but Solinsky with his third big catch of the game. I don't know how Ross missed that.
That's one of those where Ross jumped. You'd actually want to continue running through that one. If he would have run through that one, he might could have gotten there on time. So you love when you jump. You love when you get your hands up. But that time, I think he jumped a little bit too early. And as a result, it was a nice throw by Dodson and Solinsky. That's been a very effective play when they're able to get that ball to Solinsky over the middle. They've done that a few times, and that was a big gain there for the Hornets.
Dodson throws it out, and he's stuck right there. I don't think they'll call that a complete pass at all. He was trying to hit Landsey out there, but Bean came up hard from his linebacker position, the third leading tackler on this team.
Yeah, that was a designed swing pass to the running back. The Rebel defense read it perfectly. You'll see Bean flying into the backfield. Bam. Nice pursuit. And that ball falls incomplete.
Good shot there by our sideline crew, Fletcher Tubbs. So 2nd down and 10 now. Dodson hands off Strassner inside, and he'll drag a few people along the way. Grayson Bruno among those there, number 10 with the tackle. And they'll get about 3 on that 3rd down and 7.
And Strassner's a guy that's a really good player. He's done a really good job filling in, but not having Emerson Russell for Chelsea, I think it's been a big deal over the past couple of weeks. He's played injured, and then tonight just not playing. But he's a guy that can really take it to the house. Earlier in the year against Tuscaloosa County, he had 3 touchdowns, over 100 yards rushing. And so there just aren't that many options for this Hornet offense.
28-7, Vestavia on top, 3:33 to go in the 2nd quarter. Dodson deliberate as he takes the snap. Rolls and throws a little bit short. Trying to find Landsey over there and just didn't get enough on it as he had to move his feet and get out of the pocket, and that's 4th down.
Pressure in the backfield by the Vestavia defense flushed him out of the pocket. Rolling to his right, he tried to throw it back across his body, but it's tough to get enough zip on those balls when you're throwing it that way, and he threw it low, incomplete, and another punt for the Hornets.
Plenty of time for Vestavia to get in another score here. Pressure on the punt. I don't know if anybody got a hand on it, but Taft's going to get it and not only stop the ball, but pick up 3 or 4 on it. So he's becoming a gutsy little returner back there.
Well, 2 things. One, I think it looked to me like Vestavia got some type of hand on it. Obviously didn't block it completely. Looks like they may have tipped that punt. Secondly, that was a really smart play by Taft. That ball was bouncing up. If it hits, it's got a chance to roll and really cost you a number of yards. So that's one of those returns where you don't get much, but you prevent losing yards by catching it.
Tonsmeyer right side, led by Livingston, who's out there. Livingston ended up not touching anybody, but Tonsmeyer still got about 5 or 6 on the right side.
What a great job by Livingston pulling, getting around, and allowing your running back to follow him. Great awareness by Tonsmeyer. Find the big guy and follow him.
They give him 4 on that play, and he going around the left end, and now whistle and a false start against Vestavia.
I think that is the 3rd false start already against the Rebels. And then they had the illegal shift as well. So 4 penalties simply on alignment by not getting set. I know they want to go fast, but you got to get set and make sure everything's ready to roll. Otherwise, you put yourself in a negative situation, which is what they are here, 2nd and 12.
Head looking, throws it out. Little out pattern to Richardson. He turns it out, and he's down the field, still on his feet. Down to the 20-yard line, or no, he's inside the 20.
Keon Richardson.
That's a nice pass by John Paul Head. Get it out there. Let your speedster receiver make that catch and just run.
Tonsmeyer right in, not much there.
Tonsmeyer right tackle.
As he is upended by Adam Cornwell, linebacker.
Head's now 5 of 7 for 96 yards through the air.
2nd down and 7. Littleton and Tonsmeyer, Caden Taylor there. Pretty beefy for a Vestavia backfield with Littleton and Taylor flanking Head. Handoff Tonsmeyer. Breaks a tackle, right in, trying to cut back inside the momentum, but nice play by Cornwell again on that play, and only about a yard or so gain.
Good pursuit by the Chelsea defense. Now going to put Vestavia in a 3rd and 4 situation.
3 yards to go from the 11-yard line.
And they've done a good job of mixing up the formations throughout the night. Ingram's in the game at a tight end spot. Play clock at 20, so enough time. Tonsmeyer's going to come back in the ball game.
And Franklin waiting. I think Robert Evans is waiting, and they're going to play this clock down and call timeout. Robert going down near the official, and it's a timeout on the field. We'll take a 45-second break. You're watching the Rebel Nation Sports Network.
Rebel Athletics would like to thank Ross Neely, Yearly and More, Kathy Smith Remax, Alexander Shonora, Alabama Pain Physicians, Streamline Scientific, Molecular Designs, Arc Realty, and LeMaster Medical for their contributions.
Welcome back to the Rebel Nation Sports Network. Scott Griffin and Chad Pilcher here. B.J. Milliken on the sidelines. He's got the good view down there.
3rd and 3 for the
Rebels 3rd down and about 3. Head, this is usually what they do and usually works, and I think Head's got the first down near the 5-yard line. Hard to see from our vantage point, but I think he's down there.
Picked it up. Nice job by Caden Taylor leading the way, blocking. And the chains or the down marker will reset. It's 1st and goal, 42 seconds. Clock is running.
Head fakes to Taylor, throws to Littleton, and he'll get to the 3, maybe, leaning out there. Good sideline shot there. And timeout, Vestavia with 27 seconds to go. I thought that might be the play, but Littleton was pretty much pressured as soon as he caught it.
Yeah, they want to throw the ball, try to get to the outside. It was well defended by Chelsea that time. You showed misdirection, and then you come back with a pass to the outside, but good coverage in the secondary, able to make a nice open field tackle against Littleton. That's going to force Vestavia into a 2nd down situation. You've got enough time, but you have to be smart. So you can still run everything in the offense. If you throw it, you might want to throw it into the end zone, because if you get tackled like that last play, you only have one more timeout. So you got to be smart about kind of how you're managing your time, managing your timeouts, but plenty of time here, still having a timeout and having 27 seconds left on the clock.
Good look at Josh Franklin and the crew there. Jordan Ross has checked in. He's caught a touchdown this year. Remember in the Mountain Brook game in the fade route in the left corner. So they got a lot of large bodies in there. He's on the right side now. Head right side, trying to get his way to the end zone, but he's thrown back by a lot of Hornets.
Now you've got to quickly get back to the line of scrimmage, which is what Vestavia will do. Make sure everyone's set before you snap the ball.
Head right side again, whistle. They may call motion on that.
They didn't wait.
Flag on the play. Dead ball. Illegal procedure.
And again, that's a hard thing to do. You're rushing, you're trying to hurry, you're trying to get back up to the line, but you have to let the players get set. And now the clock's going to run. I don't know if Robert knows it. The clock is running, and he's going to go call a timeout.
At the 7.
And he did not realize that, and nobody did. And maybe that was mismanagement by the official.
I feel like the officials rushed that a little bit.
They did rush that a little bit.
Yeah, as soon as Coach Evans realized it, he went and used the timeout. And so now, about to make a decision. Looks like they're going to line up to kick a field goal.
Yeah, Owen Simpson, Robert, disappointed in that. And look, that the reason he's disappointed is not the score of this game. This is stuff he wants to try and execute and clean up as you head towards the playoffs.
That's exactly right. That's the type of situation that you never know. You may be next week in the 4th quarter where you've got a 1st and goal and you've got to score to win the ball game against Hewitt Trussville. You want to be able to execute that But that's a good learning experience, too. Maybe you would call the plays a little differently next time and try to attack it a little differently. So it's a good experience for these guys to get the opportunity to try, and now a field goal attempt.
24-yard field goal by Simpson. I think he missed it. No, he got it. He got it in that left upright. From my vantage point, I was wondering. So, 31-7 at the half as the Rebels are on top here at Chelsea. And B.J. Milliken has Robert Evans down there in just a moment. And he's waiting for Robert Evans to get to him. And here comes Coach Evans.
Coach, coming off a bye week, how do you feel like the guys played in the first half?
There's some good things. I mean, defensively, that kind of proved my point. It doesn't matter, this game, if you're not emotionally ready to play, you get embarrassed. And we got embarrassed on that first drive, and credit Chelsea. They did good things, and they executed, and we didn't. And so you credit and tip there. They're shorthanded. Their best player's not playing tonight. And so, you have to be emotionally ready to play. And I thought we've done some good things offensively. We need to finish some drives and get some personnel stuff worked out. But I think we're playing with good tempo. We're just kind of sloppy with the penalties, probably trying to play too fast right now.
Seems like a lot of intensity on the defensive side of the ball, a lot of big hits tonight. These guys were probably hungry to get out there.
Well, I think so. Kane Daniels is a great player, and we haven't had him for 4 weeks, and he's excited to be out. And then, our guys are just excited to play. I mean, everybody missed not playing last Friday, myself included. And so we're ready to go. We just need to execute better and clean things up.
Thanks, Coach.
Thank you.
All right, that is Robert Evans, the head coach with B.J. Milliken. We will take a 2-minute break and come back with more. You're watching the Rebel Nation Sports Network. Vestavia on top, 31-7.
We start each day at Birmingham Fastener with the same core values in mind: integrity, grit, and accountability. We're looking for talented people to join our sales and manufacturing teams. As one of the nation's leading manufacturers, we have over 10 locations across the country and endless opportunities to grow and succeed alongside incredible teammates. Become the future of American manufacturing and help build our nation's infrastructure one bolt at a time here at Birmingham Fastener.
When the on-time service technician arrives in your home, you give us an amazing opportunity. The opportunity to earn your trust, to arrive at your home on time, to fix the problem in your home, and to never sell you something you don't need. When the job is done and the technician leaves, I want you to be really pleased with the work. And I want something more. I want you to say to yourself, I trust that guy.
Are you sure about the air you breathe at home? You can be with Green Home Solutions. They provide indoor air testing, treatments, and analysis that doesn't just find the problem, but resolves the problem. Disinfection, mold remediation, and odor removal creates clean indoor air so your family breathes easier. Call Green Home Solutions at 205-968-1425. That's 205-968-1425.
Lifeline's ministry is necessary because God has ultimately called the body of Christ to manifest the gospel to vulnerable children. We see it beginning in the Old Testament in the Pentateuch. God continues to renew that call over and over and over again to the people. Lifeline, in its role, comes alongside the church with that very narrow specialization to allow the church to live out the mission that the church has been given to proclaim the gospel through orphan care.
Good look at the Vestavia band, and let's enjoy the Rebels here at halftime.
All of our sponsors are Miss Erin Dearman and Miss Jenny Spratt. Majorette sponsors Miss Ashley Hancock. Bracket sponsors Miss Andrea Burris. And percussion instruction is by Double Step Percussion.
That is the Vestavia band. We will take a 2-minute break. We're watching the Revelation Sports Network.
How are you? I'm down that way. I'm going to go look for some feet. Oh, yeah, that's fine.
You have to pay taxes. Ugh. It's just part of life. In the great state of Alabama, we have an awesome thing in our tax code called the Alabama Accountability Act, which allows you to redirect up to 100% of your state taxes to Scholarship for Kids, a scholarship granting organization that benefits partner schools like Restoration Academy. It's a no-brainer. Use your tax money for something that will make a huge impact at no cost to you. For more information, go to choosera.org.
Renew and refresh. JH Outback focuses on strengthening family bonds with spouses, parents, and children to help in spiritual growth and life purpose. Join us for a fun-filled weekend together in an undistracted environment enjoying the outdoors with great food, entertainment, and live music. JH Outback. Renew and refresh.
Are you an enthusiastic sports fan? Want to have fun and get in on the action?
Heck, yes. That'd be awesome.
Have great attention to detail? Want to stay active?
Definitely.
Want to give back to the student athletes in your community?
Obviously, yes.
Then you'd make an excellent high school sports official. We need more officials in Alabama, because with no high school officials, there are no high school sports. Sign up today at highschoolofficials.com.
When the on-time service technician arrives in your home, you give us an amazing opportunity. The opportunity to earn your trust, to arrive at your home on time, to fix the problem in your home, and to never sell you something you don't need. When the job is done and the technician leaves, I want you to be really pleased with the work. And I want something more. I want you to say to yourself, I trust that guy.
Renew and refresh. JH Outback focuses on strengthening family bonds with spouses, parents, and children to help in spiritual growth and life purpose. Join us for a fun-filled weekend together in an undistracted environment enjoying the outdoors with great food, entertainment, and live music. JH Outback. Renew and refresh.
Welcome back at the half. Vestavia leading 30-7. Chelsea band is now filling the field. It's been a first half absolutely dominated by the Rebels, leading 31-7 on the field. And the stat game as well, 292 yards of total offense for Vestavia. It's just 74 yards for Chelsea. Passing through the air, John Paul had 6 of 8, 98 yards. Had that long of 51, the opening pass to start the game to Keon Richardson. Carter Dotson for Chelsea, just 5 for 11 for 63 yards. Vestavia's running for 194 yards on 20 carries, almost 10 yards per carry through the air. Penalty yardage, Vestavia 6 for 38, and that may be an area where Coach Evans wants to talk about at the half, really cleaning up. A number of those penalties he talked about were just alignment situations, rushing pretty quickly. Took it back to the line, didn't quite get set before the ball was snapped. Third down conversions, Vestavia really good, 4 of 5 on the night, and then their average drive start positions at the 40-yard line. So anytime you're starting that well, you're going to really like the situation and where you are. Looking on the other side for Chelsea, they've had 14 carries, only 11 yards on the ground, just 63 yards through the air. And then penalty-wise, two penalties for 30-yard third-down conversions, just 2 out of 6 on the night. Leading rusher for Vestavia, William Tonsmeyer, 9 carries, 102 yards. He's averaging 11.2
outstanding jump ball heads, added another 67 yards. On the ground, he has 2 touchdowns. Tonsmeyer with 1, and Carson Mann with 1 touchdown. Keon Richardson, good to have him back after being gone. He has 3 catches, 89 yards. That long of 51 that we talked about just a little bit earlier. And so a good start coming back for Keon Richardson. He's done a really nice job. Leading receiver for Chelsea is Nick Solinsky. He's got 6 catches, 46 yards. And then the leading rusher for Chelsea, just to tell you how dominant Vestavia has been defensively. 1 yard. The leading rusher for Chelsea has 1 yard. They have another back with 0 yards and another back with -5 yards on the ground. So it's a half that's absolutely dominated by Vestavia. That shows up on the stat sheet. That also shows up on the scoreboard.
Thank you, Chad, for the halftime numbers. We will take another break. We'll come back. The second half's getting pretty close. Right now, 31-7. The Rebels are in charge. You're watching the Rebel Nation Sports Network.
Are you sure about the air you breathe at home? You can be with Green Home Solutions. They provide indoor air testing, treatments, and analysis that doesn't just find the problem, but resolves the problem. Disinfection, mold remediation, and odor removal creates clean indoor air so your family breathes easier. Call Green Home Solutions at 205-968-1425. That's 205-968-1425.
We're building on-time service to become Alabama's most trusted company. With air conditioning technicians, plumbers, electricians, and appliance repairmen you can trust. Technicians who won't try to sell you things you don't need, who are honest in figuring out the problem and repairing it, and are backed by the on-time service satisfaction guarantee. You can trust the on-time service technician to do the right thing.
Lifeline's ministry is necessary because God has ultimately called the body of Christ to manifest the gospel to vulnerable children. We see it beginning in the Old Testament in the Pentateuch. God continues to renew that call over and over and over again to the people. Lifeline, in its role, comes alongside the church with that very narrow specialization to allow the church to live out the mission that the church has been given to proclaim the gospel through orphan care.
Chelsea band still entertaining the home crowd here as we live out of a suitcase this week after the off week last week. And I haven't checked another score. I feel like I shouldn't, but I know you can. And Chad's going to check and see if he can get a Hewitt-Trussville and Thompson score, since that's number 1, number 2 in the region, and Vestavia is right there, number 3. Of course, we host Hewitt-Trussville next week. And that's obviously a huge game at home for Vestavia. The winner of that likely again, now this is assuming we got the rest of the year, would host a playoff game. So that's a big game.
I'll let you guess. What do you think the score is?
Oh, now we're going to guess.
Yeah, let's guess.
All right, I'm going to guess Thompson came out ornery. Hewitt's pretty good, though. So I'm going to guess like 17-14 Thompson.
24-7.
Thompson,
right before the half. Right at the half. It hit half.
Wow.
Thompson 24-7 at the half. So let's just think about this. If you try to do comparisons and think about where things were.
Right, which we love to do.
We love to do. If I'm recalling correctly, Vestavia, it was 7-0 at the half. Thompson led 7-0 against Vestavia. It was 7-3 late in that ball game. And then
with it driving inside the 15.
Driving inside, didn't get it. And then Thompson went down and scored. So Hewitt, again, who Vestavia is going to play next week, already down 24-7. Now, I will say, Thompson was probably in a bad mood this week after losing last week and
doubt.
the motivation and that sort of thing. So Hewitt may have caught them on a bad night. I don't think that's in any way indicative of the way Hewitt's going to play next week. And let's say the only game that Hewitt has lost all season before this one was Central Phoenix City, who's tied or ranked number 1 in the state. So when Hewitt comes into Vestavia next week, assuming that game holds, you're going to have a 2-loss Hewitt team with both of those losses to the top teams in the state, number 1 and number 2.
And it should be an outstanding game, for sure, next week.
And right before the half, Hewitt was driving, trying to put points. They actually had the ball inside the 5-yard line, and Thompson forced a fumble on what was a read option play. Thompson recovered, and so Hewitt does not score. So 24-7. And what that does give, let's just assume that score is going to hold. That means that Hewitt and Vestavia are going to be playing A, for the number 2 seed in the playoff as soon as the chalk holds the rest of the season.
Right.
And B, more importantly than that 2 seed. So if you get the 2 seed, you're going to go play the 3 seed out of whatever the likely region.
Usually the North region.
The North region that you're going to get paired up against. So 2 instead of playing the 3rd seed. So that's a little nice. You're going to play the 3 instead of the 2, presumably a little bit weaker team. But more importantly, if you get to that second round of the playoffs, you'll likely face that same team, Hewitt, come in that place, and you would be at home. So that's why this game next week is big. It is for a home game in the second round of the playoffs, which is a big deal.
Very big deal. So we'll keep an eye on that. We got to wrap up things here, and then we can face Hewitt. But this is a nice, as we said in the pregame show, a nice little warm-up game for Vestavia Chelsea. And I don't say that with any disrespect to Chelsea at all. Their program is brand new to 7A. They're a county school. They're trying to build things here. And Todd Cassidy, I think, is a really good football coach. So they've already doubled their win total. So no disrespect, but Vestavia is a little further along down the road.
So something I was looking at this week getting ready for this football game, when you talk about Chelsea being up in 6A. So for everyone, or 7A, excuse me, there are 7 classifications in the state of Alabama. Most classifications have 60-some-odd schools in them. So 1A through 6A have between 60 and 65 schools around there somewhere. It's different in 7A. Because there's such a discrepancy at the top in Alabama high schools, those higher populations, they divided up, created a 7A. There's only 32 teams in 7A football. The most enrollment in the state of Alabama from the AHSA is Auburn High School. They have 2,131.7 students. I don't know how you get 0.7, but that's their, that's their enrollment. It's some kind of average. Second is Hoover High School with 2,046. Third is Baker High School, 1,910.9. Vestavia is the 8th largest high school in the state of Alabama, 1,587 students. Let's go down to the bottom. The lowest number of students in 7A is 1,055. That's at Florence. Next is Austin, 1,086, and then Chelsea, 1,101. So do that discrepancy. I mean, just looking from Vestavia, 475 more students does Vestavia have to pull from. And if you look at the bottom of 7A to the top, Auburn High School, 2,131. Florence, 1,055. Wow. And that is over 1,000 student difference from the top to the bottom of 1A and 7A. And then you look at it, the largest 6A school, who we said is having a great year this year, Helena, 1,063. So that's a big difference of, my math's off a little bit. I guess about 8 students. So it's 8 student difference between 7A and 6A. And then
so Helena could, if they keep growing.
Correct, could end up in 7A. And would be in this same region. I mean, you're really looking at just Chelsea or Helena. And I bet, honestly, maybe they decided to bump them down because of how the regions would be even or odd.
So Chelsea has how many and Helena how many again? I'm sorry.
Chelsea has 1,101. Helena has 1,063. So I said it wrong. Florence has 1,085. So it's 1,085 and then 1,063. So it's about a 20 student difference. Very, very different. Very slim. But that's a huge difference if you're Helena or if you're Clay Chalkville, who are the 2 largest in 6A as opposed to being that smallest in 7A. It's a huge 2 schools that are having great years, Clay Chalkville and Helena. Both are 6A just by about 20 kids.
So the Chelsea football team with 2 wins. The Hornets back to receive the kick from Owen Simpson. And there's the second half kick. And it is out of the end zone. And the Hornets will begin on the 20-yard line.
And for the Hornets, which
Chad has put on a coat, everybody.
Jacket, not a coat. It's a jacket.
Toby Carter, our color camera, has got a coat on.
He has a winter
Randy
vest.
and I choose to go in shorts and a golf shirt. Even Stephen Gill, our stat guy, has a coat on.
To be clear, mine's a jacket.
I didn't realize everybody was so soft on the crew. Why is the crew so soft? Look at Spence Hanna's not soft. He's in there playing, making a tackle on the run. So 2nd and 6. We'll let you guys slide.
So if you're Chelsea, you go in at halftime. You're down 31-7. You had a great first drive offensively. Didn't really do much after that. So the only thing you can do is not look at the scoreboard. Just focus on this drive.
Right?
Just play football. Just play football. Try to get better. Try to improve. Try to make some plays. Because if you focus on the scoreboard, it's going to be a pretty miserable next 24 minutes of game time.
Hey, Chelsea has some players. Dotson, I think, has been pretty good. You know, we know Strasner can play. You know, I mean, there's the pass. Boy, they out in a crowd. I was going to say Solinsky's had 3 big catches. He was trying to force one there to him.
Yeah, and Dotson
third down and 7.
Dotson took a shot from Jordan Ross there. I like how Dotson looks. I mean, he's a good-looking athlete.
Good-looking player, yeah.
Good-looking player. He's only a junior. He'll be back. But the big deal for Chelsea tonight is that Emerson Russell's not here. I mean, he is their best player. He is their playmaker, and he's not playing in this football game. I don't know that it would have made a difference, but it certainly
Well, it would have helped.
It would have helped, and it's certainly they're not as good without him on the field.
Jerome Russell was his father, who I called his games at Sanford a long time ago, and he was a really good football player. So I know his son's pretty good. Dotson sidearmed that one, got a little lazy. Put on your quarterback eyes there for that one. His feet were moving. He got a little lazy, and he just threw it at his feet. Right?
Just got rid of it, and that's what pressure does. As you feel it more and more and more, that pressure gets you get the happy feet. You let go of balls before you want to, and it results in incompletions.
So Awesome Harbon is on to kick for the Hornets. He kicks it very low. It's going to bound around. Hope it doesn't hit a Vestavia Rebel. They were unaware, but it harmlessly goes to the right sideline. But it seems like Vestavia has lived near the 50 this entire football game.
Yeah, their starting field position in the first half, the 40-plus. And so when you're doing that, it just puts you in a great spot. I mean, you can go 30 yards and you have a field goal opportunity. And with the way Vestavia's been moving the ball, they've not even needed the field goals except for that last drive when the clock got them.
So John Paul Head still in. Tonsmeyer, all the starters. Hand to Tonsmeyer. Head's leading the way. Tonsmeyer, right side, still on his feet. Lowers his shoulder. And he's down to the 42. John Paul Head handed off and said, I'll just lead you over here. No problem.
Just a great drive, and you see great start, excuse me. Great speed by Tonsmeyer getting to the outside.
That guy likes contact. Tonsmeyer again, right side. Good blocking up front. And we lose him in the tents there. That's why we have to switch to our sideline camera. We're limited by being on the road here. But here comes Vestavia again in a hurry. 2nd down and 7. Hand to Carson Mann this time. And he's in the tents.
Carson Mann at right end.
But Mann is very close to a first down. 3rd down and 2, Chad.
Tempo for Vestavia, and what's probably a 4-down territory.
Good tight shot there. Hands to Mann. Head keeps it inside, and I don't know if he got a first down or not.
He did, and this is a situation where if you didn't have the off week next week, your starters might be done. But the fact that this Rebel offense hasn't played in 2 weeks, I think that's the reason you're seeing them stay in the ball game with this score.
Fake to Mollison on the motion. Wide open is Mann. Touchdown. Beautiful call for Josh Franklin. And a beautiful fake by John Paul Head.
And that's the type of situation where you're the Chelsea coaching staff. You got to be a little flabbergasted as you watch that play develop and you have receivers running wide open because you know they talked about focus on the little things, run your defense, be in the right spots, and instead just wide open for the touchdown for the Rebels.
Owen Simpson off for the extra point. It is up. It's good. Vestavia certainly in control. 38-7 over Chelsea. We'll take a break. You're watching the Rebel Nation Sports Network.
Vestavia 38, Chelsea.
There are reasons why On Time Service has far more 5-star Google reviews than any other Alabama home service company. Our technicians are true professionals who never smoke, swear, or leave any mess in your home, and they always arrive on time.
Anthony Lanzi did the receive.
Welcome back here to Rebel Nation Sports Network. The Hornets back to receive again. Vestavia scored again. I think it's only 2 drives they haven't scored, something like that.
And did it quickly. Took up just 2 minutes and, well, I guess after the stop, actually less than that. But now 9 minutes, 41 seconds still here to go in this third quarter.
Simpson kicks it again. He's had 2 or 3 touchbacks tonight. He's had 12 to 13 on the year already.
He's done a really nice job.
He's been terrific.
The ball's not even close, right? I mean, they're going 7, 8, 9 yards deep into the end zone on almost every single kickoff.
And I saw him warming up with the game, easily kicking with distance 50-yard field goals.
Yeah,
so
that's
if you
such a
had
weapon.
to, he could do that.
Such a weapon.
And Robert was standing by him to check it out and see what he is. That could be advantageous in playoff time. Whistle and a flag down. I don't know if Chelsea moved, and it looks like they did. Referee took the ball and moved it before anybody had a chance.
I've seen that all night. I mean, the officials moving the ball very quickly. They don't even wait for the referee to make the call. They just mark it off and go.
Dotson gets it. Option to the wide receiver. Put it in his belly. Coming up hard. Again, is that Bruno or no? Cross Trunsmeyer came up hard as the nickel package from the safety position.
And I like the option play, but you have to have good distance in between your running back and your quarterback, and that what I've seen a little too tight on those pitches, and you run the risk of fumbling the snap, but instead, when you're that close, it allows the defender to really take care of both players. And so you don't necessarily have to defend it perfectly, and you can still make a tackle.
Yates Bannon in there, well, his linebacker. There's a long throw. Mayhall trying to get his 3rd interception, and he almost had it. He had 2 against Thompson, and he's really done a great job sitting in for Caden Daniels while he was injured.
He's been incredible. He was huge in that Thompson game, and that time the receiver, Jackson Shuttleworth, actually had to turn into a defender. He had to go out and try to knock it down and knock it out of Mayhall's hands, which he successfully did.
3rd down and 9 for the Hornets. Scott Griffin, Chad Pilcher, B.J. Milliken here. 8:25 to go in the third quarter. Dotson rolling, trying to find a man. It's got Zielinski again. That guy's been dangerous. He's got 4 catches tonight for Chelsea, and another first down. I think all 4 have been first downs.
That has been their most effective play, is getting the ball to Zielinski over the middle of the field. Just a little over 60 yards on those 4 catches.
Again, we talked about it a moment ago. It's not like Chelsea doesn't have players. Handoff. Oh, Jacob Watson coming in on Strassner almost at the same time he took the handoff.
That was a great play by Watson. Anticipating, reading, getting into the backfield. Watson with the all-white cleats tonight.
Second down and 12. They throw it out in the flat. Looks like Zielinski again on the catch. No, that's actually Shuttlesworth on that catch. And they'll pick up 3 or 4. It'll be third down and about 7.
So this is a situation where, for Chelsea, you've got some positive momentum. If you were able to convert this, again, just thinking big picture going forward, it would be big-time momentum for the Hornets. Get something positive going here. And Chelsea looking to the sidelines, checking the play. Coach Evans and Coach Sean Rainey on his birthday is checking the defensive call.
I think they're going to call timeout. Chelsea does call timeout as the clock got down. We'll take a break. You're watching the Rebel Nation Sports Network.
Rebel Athletics would like to thank Ross Neely, Yearly and More, Kathy Smith Remax, Alexander Shonora, Alabama Pain Physicians, Streamline Scientific, Molecular Designs, Arc Realty, and LeMaster Medical for their contributions.
Welcome back to the Rebel Nation Sports Network. Scott Griffin, Chad Pilcher. Third down at about 7 for the Hornets. They'll do a little motion there. Reset. Whistle. I thought somebody blew the whistle. Denenberg was there to create havoc, but somebody blew the whistle to stop that play.
And Vestavia called a timeout. Everything a little discombobulated out there.
So Robert Evans and Sean Rainey, the birthday boy, did not like that set. As Todd Cassidy dialed up something, I guess, they had not seen on video. So they want to talk about it.
And that's what you have to understand. For us, we're sitting up here, we see it's 38-7, and the natural human tendency is to relax a little bit, and that happens. But for coaches, they're not wired that way. They don't relax. They don't care who's on the field. They don't care what the score is. All they care about is doing things the right way. They don't care that there's backups in the football game or what's happening. They want the kids to do the things and do them properly, so when they see something that's not perfect, they're going to call a timeout and they're going to work through it.
Third down and 7. We'll try it again. A couple of timeouts there. Now they change out of that formation to a different formation. Dotson keeps it. He's dropped. Dropped like a bad habit. Harrison Faust, his second tackle of the night.
Beautiful play by Faust. Read the option perfectly. There's the pull out of the fullback, and Faust just came from the backside. Did not get touched. Flew into the backfield, made the tackle.
So fourth down for Chelsea. 38-7, 5:57 to go in the third. Punt away, Taft back. He'll call a fair catch. Almost got interfered with, and they'll throw a flag, so Vestavia will get some yardage on that one. That's how sure-handed Taft has been, because even when there's interference, he makes the catch.
Really great concentration that time by Taft, and Brandon Sims on the coverage for Chelsea just literally got right in front of his face. He can't get that close, so the flag came out, and that's going to give Vestavia 15 yards and just great field position right at midfield once again.
That's a big penalty for such a tiny, seemingly tiny infraction, right?
Typically you see those flags come out when there's contact.
Yeah.
But that time he just got too close. The flag came out.
Head, play action, throws it out. Richardson, second time they've run that play. First time he broke a tackle, had about 20 down the sideline. So Richardson now, what, third or fourth catch on the night?
Yeah, he's had a
I think
great
it's
night.
number 4, right?
And what I love about Richardson, he was out, he comes back, and they went to him the first play. Let's go deep. Let's get him back in the ball game, and they've continued to go through him, and he'll go in motion here.
Handoff man, left side. He's got room. He might score. Carson Mann with his second touchdown, but there may be a hold. Let's see.
Going to be a hold on the edge against Vestavia, so that wipes out a great run by Carson Mann. So instead of 6 points on the board, they're going to enforce that penalty and take the Rebels back to the 46-yard line.
Richardson with 4 catches for 100 yards.
Welcome back. 5 minutes, 16 seconds left in this third quarter.
There's the pass. There's a touchdown. Head to Richardson.
So make that 5 catches for 146 yards and a touchdown. What a great night for Keon Richardson. That's a pretty ball by John Paul Head. Wow. Pretty good coverage in the secondary, but Richardson got behind it, made the catch. Touchdown, Rebels.
What a way to go out from an injury and come back with 5 catches for 146 yards. Timeout on the field, 45-7. You're watching the Rebel Nation Sports Network.
Are you sure about the air you breathe at home? You can be with Green Home Solutions. They provide indoor air testing, treatments, and analysis that doesn't just find the problem, but resolves the problem. Disinfection, mold remediation, and odor removal creates clean indoor air so your family breathes easier. Call Green Home Solutions at 205-968-1425. That's 205-968-1425.
You have to pay taxes. Ugh. It's just part of life. In the great state of Alabama, we have an awesome thing in our tax code called the Alabama Accountability Act, which allows you to redirect up to 100% of your state taxes to Scholarship for Kids, a scholarship granting organization that benefits partner schools like Restoration Academy. It's a no-brainer. Use your tax money for something that will make a huge impact at no cost to you. For more information, go to choosera.org.
Welcome back to Vestavia football. Scott Griffin, Chad Pilcher, BJ Billiken. There's the push-ups. They're getting tired now with 45 points. Another touchback by Owen Simpson on the kickoff. And it's 45-7 Vestavia. In control, 5 minutes to go in this third quarter. .501.
And Chelsea's made a change at the quarterback position. They brought in Miller Bowman, the backup. Starting out with a pass to the outside. Nice job of going down to catch that ball. So we've talked about it, but for Chelsea, you're just focused on positive yardage. You have a little over 4.5 minutes left in this third quarter. You want to really focus on, can we get some positive plays going? Again, doesn't matter who's on the field. A number of backups in now for Vestavia defensively, but you got to keep making plays.
Chelsea with the backup quarterback in now, and he's got some pretty good feet as he runs for a first down. And I was not given the 2 deep by Coach Cassidy, so I don't know if you've got a roster there for number 10, but Dotson is out. That was a good run by the backup QB.
That's Bauman, B-A-U-M-A-N.
Bauman getting some reps at quarterback.
And he's a junior also, so another pretty big kid, tall, lean.
Strasner is still in at running back. Bauman, right side, and he's hit by a host of Rebels there. Looks like some of the backups said Yates Bannon is in there.
Brought down by a host of Rebels. Gain of 3, 2nd and 7.
Looks like Whit Boerprosh was in there, the linebacker.
Bahorfish.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Bahorfish. You're getting some playing time tonight. That's like a German name, right?
We go with Boho a lot of times.
Boho, that's what we'll go with. Straisner inside on the right side, and not much happening over there either, as Bruno was in on that tackle. 3rd down and 4. Bruno coming out now. Doesn't look like he's happy. He's done a nice job. Bo Stockard now coming in for him at safety or linebacker. 3rd down and 4. Also getting some reps. William Plaisance there at defensive end. Bowman fires, missed tackle, and down the field. I don't know if was that Caden that came in, and guess who was on the recipient end?
Yeah.
Zielinski again.
Yeah, and that time Daniels went for the aggressive play, try to go make the breakup. And I like that he's still in. He's been out for a while. He's rusty. So
let it play.
Most of the defense is out. Almost all of the starting defense is out. But I think it's really important to keep Daniels in the ball game, get him reps, get him conditioned, because he's going to have to play 4 quarters next week. You might as well throw him back in there and make him do it now.
Bowman going deep. He's got a man. And he's almost for the score. Zielinski on about the 2. Zielinski's been fantastic.
He's had a great night. That was a really good throw down the sideline. Let him run right into it. And Chelsea's in business inside the 5.
And there's a touchdown on the right end.
A lot of confusion for the Vestavia defense on that play. It's a big strike down the field. Chelsea very quickly, which they haven't really done all night, very quickly ran back up to the line of scrimmage, tried to get set. Vestavia's defense was shifted over to the offensive left side, so very quickly Chelsea took the ball, snapped it through the quick pass out to the offensive right side, made the catch, got into the end zone and put up 6, and now they're on for the PAT.
So 45-13. The kick is up, and it is good. Timeout on the field. We'll take a 1-minute break. You're watching the Rebel Nation Sports Network.
Rebel Athletics would like to thank Ross Neely, Yearly and More, Kathy Smith Remax, Alexander Shonora, Alabama Pain Physicians, Streamline Scientific, Molecular Designs, Arc Realty, and LeMaster Medical for their contributions.
Welcome back to the Rebel Nation Sports Network. Scott Griffin, Chad Pilcher. Rebels gave up a touchdown there to Chelsea with a backup quarterback, Bauman.
Yeah, he looked really good. Came in. If you're going to get opportunities, you have to take advantage of them. He came in, threw the ball well, moved it up and down the field, and put 6 points on the board. And that's what we talked about for Chelsea. You're just focused on trying to make some plays. Even though the big lead, you got to be aware. Watch for something short here.
And there's a little pooch kick. Caught at the 30. Chase Webb going around the left side. I thought he had some room over there before he was knocked out of bounds on that far side. So Vestavia, this is bad field position for them at about the near the 40-yard line.
They haven't been
35-yard line.
They haven't been this far back since the start of that first possession of the ball game when they were back at the 20, and then since then they've had really good field position. But yeah, you'll still take it. 35, not too bad.
Handoff to man, right side, cuts inside, a great block, gets about 4 or 5. Super block there by J.D. Livingston, the left guard, as he was pulling. I know that's one of your favorite plays.
Love it. Gets out in the open field, allows those running backs to follow him. Braden Robertson now in the ball game at quarterback for the Rebels.
We'll go to B.J. Milliken here in a moment and get the feeling on the sideline, but you're right. Good to get Robertson some reps in a game and let him play a little bit. Good look at the junior. Very tall. There's the shovel pass to Chase Webb, and he was running full speed, and then that gap closed quickly. He'll get maybe 3. It'll be a couple of yards shy of first.
You saw right there, Webb probably stepped out of bounds, but the official wound that one, kept it going, and they're going to probably, that might be the last play of this third quarter. There's 17 seconds left on the clock. Vestavia appears to be in no hurry. It's a third down play. You're looking at 3rd and 3. So they're going to take their time, talk it over, and then they'll come back with a third down after this quarter break.
And that's exactly what they'll do. Let the clock run out. They'll talk it over and take a break. Timeout on the field, 45-14. You're watching the Rebel Nation Sports Network.
Lifeline's ministry is necessary because God has ultimately called the body of Christ to manifest the gospel to vulnerable children. We see it beginning in the Old Testament in the Pentateuch. God continues to renew that call over and over and over again to the people. Lifeline, in its role, comes alongside the church with that very narrow specialization to allow the church to live out the mission that the church has been given to proclaim the gospel through orphan care.
Renew and refresh. JH Outback focuses on strengthening family bonds with spouses, parents, and children to help in spiritual growth and life purpose. Join us for a fun-filled weekend together in an undistracted environment, enjoying the outdoors with great food, entertainment, and live music. JH Outback. Renew and refresh.
Welcome back to the Rebel Nation Sports Network. 3rd down and 3. Head inside as he got inserted in the game ahead of Robertson. No, that was actually 19. Taft was in there. Looked like Head running in there. So Taft, the freshman, gets his first offensive play. Robertson comes back in now for the Rebels, and that's a first down. So Taft got a first down run.
And tacked on a penalty there at the end, so that's going to be a first down for the Rebels.
Let's go to B.J. Milliken on the sideline. He's got some shirtless guys down there. B.J.
Shirtless guys, that's right. They called themselves the Letterman. The Letterman, right? Yes, sir. All right, these guys, after every score, they do the number of push-ups that we have points, right? So who do I have with me right here?
I'm Jack Gravelin.
All right, Jack, how's the chest feeling right now?
I think I'm about done. I don't know if I can do one more push-up tonight, so I'm about to switch over to jumping jacks.
We've got a full quarter left. The backups are in. That's good news for you, right?
Yes, it is. Great news.
The backups are still good, right?
Really good.
Yeah, so that might be bad news.
We'll see.
So what is the mindset when you look up and see 45 and then see that coach is still calling plays and throwing the ball?
I close my eyes. I just go to my happy place. Just try and get through them as best I can.
Fall break coming up. Any big plans for you or any of the other Lettermen?
I think we're all just going to stay here, watch some football, catch up on schoolwork. I think we're all a little bit behind right now.
There you go. Who is not behind is Vestavia on the field. 45-14, sending it back to Griff.
All right. Thank you, B.J. Carson Mann around right in, and he's got another big game. He's had a big night with a couple of touchdowns.
He's looked good running the ball, had the one called back, but the speed on the edge, and that's one great thing. Look, Tonsmeyer's been incredible so far this season, but you really, it's so nice to have such a quality group of running backs where you can use so many. That's a good play by Chelsea there to push him back a little bit. But when you have the quality and you can really not worry about who you're throwing in there, you know the guys are going to give you a good effort and run the ball hard.
Man got stopped on that play.
Also 4 yards, second and 14.
So it is second down and 4. Robertson goes back and he is sacked.
Good pressure there in the backfield by Chelsea, getting back, making the sack. There's Luke Beavers in the backfield, but it clearly looked like a miscommunication up front by Vestavia. And again, you start rotating in some different players. It's not always as easy for the folks to communicate and make sure you're on the right guy.
Hand off Tonsmeyer. No, he play action. He's got him in. Wide open. And Webb had it in his hands and dropped it. That was a touchdown for Chase Webb.
And a beautiful throw by Robertson, getting it down the field. Webb did a good job running the route, getting behind the defender, just not able to hold on to it.
So on to punt.
Zielinski deep to receive.
For the Rebels as the Hornets call a fair catch at about the 16-yard line. Simpson on for the kick.
Zielinski with the fair catch.
And Zielinski with a fair catch, and the Hornets will take over. Boy, that was a touchdown waiting to happen for Mr. Webb.
Yeah, called it at the right time. And again, the second opportunity Webb's had tonight. And a good throw by Robertson, put it where it needed to be. But what you love is the speed. Getting behind the secondary, getting back there. It's a big weapon. You can just find a way to hold on to those footballs.
Hornets on the march. Second down and 4.
That's something you didn't see a lot early on, is real good, strong plays on first down. You pick up 6 on first. That makes those next 2 play calls a lot simpler. A lot of movement by the Vestavia defense.
Strong running there by the Hornets as they just continue to fight, even though they're down 45 to 14.
Large carry good for a Hornet first down. First and 10, Chelsea at their own 31.
This time Vestavia stays set. Get a little motion by Chelsea, head to the outside. Wow.
Good play there for the Rebels, number 40. Nice play by Miles Plug.
Just a good job of reading that play. When you run that, you get a good momentum by the receiver running full speed when they take that handoff, but read really well, get into the backfield and make that tackle.
Miles Plug on the tackle for Vestavia.
Second out of 15.
Also 5, second and 15.
Rolling. Ballman throws a little high. Zielinski with a great catch. How about Zielinski?
Man, I mean, what a play. That ball was overthrown, not thrown incredibly well by Bauman, but Zielinski just goes up one-handed to bring that ball in. Outstanding. Clearly, he's been their most effective offensive weapon here tonight.
Chelsea at their own 47.
First and 10 Hornets from the 47-yard line. There's a throw over the middle. Zielinski caught it at the 38-yard line.
And that one, again, was not an easy ball to catch. That was in traffic. You have to go up, not shy away from the play. And Zielinski just continuing to do that. And now Dotson's back in the ball game at quarterback. But that's just such a true weapon to be able to use, having Zielinski being able to go over the middle of the field, make those catches, and the senior has been really, really good tonight.
First down and 10. And whistle. Timeout, Vestavia. Timeout on the field. Good look at Monty Hedgeman. We'll take a break. You're watching the Rebel Nation Sports Network.
Timeout, Vestavia.
Rebel Athletics would like to thank Ross Neely, Yearly and More, Kathy Smith Remax, Alexander Shonora, Alabama Pain Physicians, Streamline Scientific, Molecular Designs, Arc Realty, and LeMaster Medical for their contributions.
Welcome back to the Rebel Nation Sports Network. Dotson back in at quarterback here. There's a big handoff. Hardy inside. And Cross Tynesmeyer had to come up to make that tackle. And Chelsea again moving the football.
Doing a good job. Vestavia was showing pressure there. They backed out of it. Chelsea just ran right at it, picked up 8 yards on first down. 6 minutes to go here in the fourth quarter.
Handoff, Hardy again inside. Good look at the secondary for Vestavia. Cross Tynesmeyer coming up hard. Larry McSwain Jr. right there. Coming up as well with a nice tackle. 45-14.
And Chelsea running it north and south just right up the middle. That's something they were not able to do in that first half. Now they have trips with a little diamond formation to the left, and they'll throw it out.
Another gain by the Hornets, and they're just moving down the field.
And that was a smart play call. You've been running the ball consecutively, been very successful. Then you put 3 receivers out to the outside, and it's just a numbers game. You throw it to the back guy. You hope that you get good blocking up front. It was well executed by the Hornets.
First and goal, Chelsea at the 9.
5:06 to go in the football game. Dotson still in for the Hornets. Bauman came in and did a nice job. Dotson fake, throws over the middle, and not much happening there. Shuttlesworth the intended receiver, but the Rebels knocked it away. A lot of backups in for Vestavia.
Well, that was a good pressure that time by Miles Plug getting the backfield, and he hit Dotson very hard as he let go of that football.
There's Luke Beckham in at linebacker, number 13. Walker Gardner, a defensive lineman. So second down and goal. Inside, boy, running hard is Hardy. Hard to bring down. Tonsmeyer had to come try to clean it up with McSwain, but Hardy's got it down to the 2-yard line. I like the fight of Chelsea.
Well, not going down with the first point of contact, just continuing to fight forward, push straight ahead. And that's the kind of effort you like to see, especially when a game's at this point where it is. Kids don't care. They're continuing to play hard, and that's a sign of kids you can coach and kids you can really accomplish something with.
There's another handoff to Hardy. He's knocked down. Well, no, he got in for the cut. I thought they knocked him down short. But he gets in for the score for 45-20. And they'll try to make it 21 here.
That's a really well-executed drive that time by Chelsea. They ran the ball well, especially north and south right up the middle. Had some nice completions to the outside and just good, strong running to finish that one off.
And the kick is up, and it is good. 45-21. 4 minutes to go in the game. We'll take a break. You're watching the Rebel Nation Sports Network.
Renew and refresh. JH Outback focuses on strengthening family bonds with spouses, parents, and children to help in spiritual growth and life purpose. Join us for a fun-filled weekend together in an undistracted environment enjoying the outdoors with great food, entertainment, and live music. JH Outback. Renew and refresh. Rebel Athletics would like to thank Ross Neely, Yearly and More, Kathy Smith Remax, Alexander Shannara, Alabama Pain Physicians, Streamline Scientific, Molecular Designs, Arc Realty, and LeMaster Medical for their contributions.
$45-21 is the score. Four minutes to go. There's the kickoff by the Hornets, and Webb will let that go into the end zone for the touchback. So you go Robertson here and see what happens?
Yeah, you want to continue. He had a great drive that first time. Again, threw a really nice ball down the field, executed the offense, just unable to convert on that pass, or that would have been 6. So absolutely, come in and do the same thing you've been doing this entire ball game. Updated score. Thompson just scored again. They're up 40-14.
So that one looks to be the Huskies will come into Vestavia next week for a huge game as Carson Mann gets the run around in. And that'll be the battle for second place. Both teams will be tied, Vestavia and Hewitt. 45-21.
You talked about that score. Who knows? Momentum's a silly thing. You feel like Thompson kind of came in hot tonight after losing the week before, and then they're really focused and fired up and obviously took it to Hewitt-Trussville.
Robertson hands to man. This time he is snuffed back behind the line of scrimmage. One of the few defensive highlights for Chelsea. That's Anderson Brooks, a starting middle linebacker.
And so now how is Hewitt-Trussville going to respond after getting beat up really pretty good here tonight against Thompson? How do you respond to that kind of defeat? Do you let it get to you? Do you let it affect you in the next game? Or do you take that as positive momentum like Thompson's done after losing to Clay Chalfa? They took it as positive momentum and had a really good game tonight. Is Hewitt-Trussville able to do that, flip that switch? Remember, that was a really entertaining game last year. It was a 45-37 game. Hewitt got the victory in Trussville, and so now they'll come to Vestavia next week, which will be nice to be back at home and in the press box.
Charlie Tapp, the freshman quarterback, getting some snaps now for Vestavia, but they got to call a timeout here to talk it over with Charlie.
2 minutes, 23 seconds left. And I know a lot of folks are out of town this weekend. We appreciate you tuning in. A lot of folks on fall break. But if you're back in town next week, if you're around, that's going to be a big-time game. And you talk about where Vestavia is. As you look at the schedule, if Vestavia gets past that one, they're likely to finish this regular season 9-1. I mean, this is the game, all the playoff implications. So if you're able, you're around, come out to the stadium. Come out to Buddy Anderson Field. Check out the ball game. This football team needs a big crowd. They've come out after their week off. They played really, really well tonight. They've done executed well. They've had some plays that they've missed, honestly. This probably could be, in the upper 50s if you make a couple plays here and there. But it's been a really nice performance The offense looked really strong, and they're going to need a big crowd next week.
Charlie Tapp's got it snap and run around in. He's dropped for a loss again.
Anderson Brooks on the
But if you're not able to make it, then tune in, and we'd love to have you here, and we'll bring you all the action.
And you can watch the games after the fact, too. You can come to the game and watch it afterwards.
Go check it out on YouTube.
It's not a problem.
Maybe we'll get another chilly night next week. I know it's supposed to be chilly tomorrow. I'm wearing my jacket
Yes,
here tonight.
You look good in it, by the way.
Thank you.
Yeah, it might be chilly next week. Vestavia obviously not in the normal rebel mode here as the clock is running down and burning away. 45-21, this game in control. Now they'll wait and more practice here to run the punt team on with just 14 seconds to go and try to get a kick away. Owen Simpson back to kick. Boy, he's been terrific this year, hasn't he? Great hang time and not many punts returned, and there's another one that's not returned at all. And Chelsea will have another chance here with 1:18 to go to the game. Good look at Charlie Ingram, the snapper, and the Rebels defense. Sean Rainey wants to keep it at 21. But it's good that Sean and Robert Evans and Josh Franklin got some different guys in, get some looks, get something on video, and take a look at what's going on.
Now you just want to close it out. Don't give up any big plays. They're in zone coverage, playing cover 2 in the secondary, and the linebackers will drop on the snap.
Handoff inside. Boy, Vestavia giving up some chunk plays there. But again, the backups are in there getting some valuable time. I think that tackle was by Cross Tonsmeyer.
Chelsea's got a new quarterback also, Branson Hogan, a sophomore.
A third teamer. Oh, boy, going nowhere. Big play there by number 52, Alan Peterson. Take a look.
Great job by Peterson. He read that all the way and finished that one strong.
Alan Peterson on the tackle.
2nd down and 7. Clock at 32-31 and counting.
Oh, goodness. Delay a game.
Flag the play, delay a game against the Hornets.
Wow, you would think that would not happen. Try to score.
5-yard penalty, 2nd and 21.
Yeah, it's
one more time.
Just the types of things you see when fresh faces and new bodies get in the ball game. 15 seconds to go.
Could be the last play of the game. There's a throw over the middle and drop. 10 seconds left.
Branson Hogan's pass.
As Vestavia will get their 5th win of the year, gets 1 loss after the off week last week. Good look at Robert Evans there, thinking things through. And a little handoff on the left end, and Vestavia will drag him down there with some gang tackling. And that should do it, and does do it. That is the final. Robert Evans victorious again, 5-1 on the year. Good to get a road win coming out of the break. Quick just thought right now off the top of your head, with us getting ready for Trustwell, this game, how much does it help?
I think it helps a lot. It gets you back going after the off week. The Rebels looked fresh tonight. That's one thing. They had some nice victories. Big victory against Hoover. Had a good, strong win against Spain Park, but they looked tired. They looked like they'd played 5 games in a row. Coach Evans said they needed this week off. They needed to have some time to rest and recoup, and they looked fresh. And so he's really focused in on the practices, making sure the guys were ready to go. They looked great. The starters played enough, but then you got some rest, got them out for most of the second half. You got a lot of guys opportunities to play, and now the biggest game of the season is going to happen next Friday night at home.
No doubt about it, as Trustville will come in. and Robert Evans will speak to his team. We'll take a quick 2-minute break. You're watching the Rebel Nation Sports Network.
We start each day at Birmingham Fastener with the same core values in mind: integrity, grit, and accountability. We're looking for talented people to join our sales and manufacturing teams. As one of the nation's leading manufacturers, we have over 10 locations across the country and endless opportunities to grow and succeed alongside incredible teammates. Become the future of American manufacturing and help build our nation's infrastructure one bolt at a time here at Birmingham Fastener.
When the on-time service technician arrives in your home, you give us an amazing opportunity. The opportunity to earn your trust, to arrive at your home on time, to fix the problem in your home, and to never sell you something you don't need. When the job is done and the technician leaves, I want you to be really pleased with the work. And I want something more. I want you to say to yourself, I trust that guy.
Are you sure about the air you breathe at home? You can be with Green Home Solutions. They provide indoor air testing, treatments, and analysis that doesn't just find the problem, but resolves the problem. Disinfection, mold remediation, and odor removal creates clean indoor air so your family breathes easier. Call Green Home Solutions at 205-968-1425. That's 205-968-1425.
Lifeline's ministry is necessary because God has ultimately called the body of Christ to manifest the gospel to vulnerable children. We see it beginning in the Old Testament in the Pentateuch. God continues to renew that call over and over and over again to the people. Lifeline, in its role, comes alongside the church with that very narrow specialization to allow the church to live out the mission that the church has been given to proclaim the gospel through orphan care.
Good look at the Vestavia Rebel team. Robert Evans going over a little bit of the game and what he saw a little bit, what this game means heading into next week. 45-21 the final. Vestavia winning tonight. And there's Robert, again, glad his team got a win tonight here in the area. Every win is big, and certainly it keeps you in the hunt, and next week's going to be big, probably for the number 2 seed in the region.
Yeah, next week's going to be fun. It's what you train for all season long. As you're ready for that opportunity, you want to get a chance to put yourself in the playoffs. They'll get a chance to do that next week. It'll be big, and right now we'll head down to hear about it from Coach Robert Evans.
Well, Coach, you said it wasn't always pretty, but it's got to feel good to be 5-1.
Yeah, I mean, say 5-1, but obviously the disappointing thing to me is guys work to get their opportunity to play, and then we can't play collectively together to get teams off the field and to get first downs to finish games. But that's part of the growing experience of younger guys being on the field, and they get some experience that's not on Monday nights, Friday nights. Sometimes it's different. But, you know, overall, I mean, we're up 45-7 in the middle of the third, and we take our starters out on both sides and feel good about that. And so it's one of those games, fall break, dead atmosphere, not a whole lot going on. Our guys know what's at stake next week and know that we're the better team, but I was still disappointed we didn't play kind of to the expectation, to the standard that we would like to play. But we got the win. We won kind of going away, and we're on to fighting for a home playoff game next week. It's a good team.
Like you said, a home playoff game is on the line next week. Yep. It's been a while for Vestavia Hills. Talk about how big that is.
It's been like 10 years. This region's brutal, man. To make the playoffs is a big deal, and we're still not in. Like we got work to do, but we're in really good shape if we can beat Trussville. I've watched Trussville a lot this week, and it's kind of a flip of a coin game. It really is. They've got an outstanding quarterback, 7A Player of the Year last year. And it'll be a track meet up and down, and it's going to be a wild one next Friday. Yeah.
Sounds like a lot of people need to come out, right?
Yes, it'll be packed. Place ought to be going crazy. I think our fans need to show up because there's a lot on the line, and it's going to be an entertaining game for sure.
Thanks, Coach. Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
All right, that is Robert Evans. There's Robert Evans with B.J. Milliken, and I think he said it. He disappointed, but good to be disappointed and still get a 45-21 win.
Yeah, and he's alluded to it, and he's talking about Peyton Floyd, the quarterback for Hewitt Trustful. His dad, Josh Floyd, is the head coach. This is a team that's built up a lot, and they've similarly, Coach Floyd's come in and over the last 10 years has really grown that Hewitt Trustful program into something strong, and it's time to show up and be there in the stands, be rowdy, be ready to go, and make it a really difficult atmosphere next week for this football game, because these kids deserve it. They've earned it. They're now 5-1, which is a really, really impressive feat in the strongest region in all of high school football in the state of Alabama. They've brought it, and next week's a big one for these Rebels.
All right, we'll take it back to the house from here. 45-21 the final. Thanks to the crew and for everybody watching. For Chad Pilcher, BJ Milliken, Scott Griffin saying so long from Chelsea. We'll see you next week, 6:30 pregame, 7 o'clock kick. A probable number 2 for the playoffs scenario with Hewitt Trustful and Vestavia. Until then, so long, everybody.